The hot topic of the hour, the U.S. and Saudi Arabia holding a massive investment forum at the Kennedy Center yesterday in Washington. I was the co-MC. Watch.
We are joined by more than 90 influential speakers, more than 1,700 leaders and delegates, 8 high-impact sessions, and countless private negotiations. And at the heart of this moment are the investment agreements, commitments from companies and institutions in both great nations that will shape the most vital industries of the future.
President Trump touting hundreds of billions of dollars in new signed deals for America as he pushes affordability for Americans. Watch.
We're told that $270 billion in agreements and sales are being signed between dozens of companies, and that's just happening today, $270 billion. My message to all of the leaders and investors with us today, and they are the best in the world, is very simple. Under the Trump administration, America is back and America is open for business, and America is actually stronger than it's ever been before. Ever. We're also making incredible strides to make America affordable again. That's a new word that they're using. Affordability, they talk. They had the worst inflation in history. They had the highest prices in history. The country was going to hell. The only thing that we're going up in is our stock market, okay? The only price that we really have, I mean, we're bringing prices down.
Meanwhile, Elon Musk's xAI and Jensen Huang's NVIDIA announced a partnership to build a giant data center in Saudi Arabia. It would consume 500 megawatts of power, enough to fuel several 100,000 homes a year. Jensen Huang, meanwhile, rejecting talks of an AI bubble as investors worry that the boom has pushed past practical applications and returns. Musk predicting AI will soon become so advanced, work will become optional. Watch this.
My prediction is that work will be optional.
Optional?
Optional. I mean, it'll be like playing sports or a video game or something like that. If you want to work, you know, in the same way, like you can go to the store and just buy some vegetables, or you could grow vegetables in your backyard. It's much harder to grow vegetables in your backyard, but some people still do it because they like growing vegetables. That will be what work is like, optional.
Well, that was an incredible panel to see the power of Elon Musk and Jensen Huang on the stage, Mark Tepper, and talking about AI and what they see in the future. Two visionaries. It was pretty spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, AI, obviously, it's been the most exciting narrative over the course of the last few years as it relates to both the economy and the stock market. And fortunately, NVIDIA, I think they did a good job of kind of keeping that narrative intact with their earnings release yesterday. You know, one of the things that Jensen Huang has been pointing out, though, is that, you know, up until this time, a rising tide has lifted all AI boats. So it doesn't matter if you're really good at AI. It doesn't matter if you're strapped for cash. Every single stock has gone up. I think over the course of the next several quarters, and Jensen Huang has kind of alluded to this, you're going to see that change. You're going to see clear winners, clear losers, and those companies that are disciplined as it relates to allocating their cash towards AI, they're going to be rewarded. Those companies that are reckless, they're going to be punished. But, you know, nevertheless, AI is very exciting. I have no idea what making work optional would look like in society. I don't know how we make money. Maybe you don't have to make money. Maybe you grow all your food in the backyard. I don't know. But that's certainly, I would hope that's decades and decades and decades down the road.
Well, he's not the first person to say this kind of sentiment. Someone else told me that they're thinking that this is going toward a 4-day work week because you've got so much information and it will make your work easier. Now, the NVIDIA quarter is obviously driving markets this morning, Mark. Fiscal third quarter data center sales up 66% year over year, exceeding the $50 billion for the first time. You had operating margins increasing by 1 percentage point. The stock is still trading at 29 times projected earnings. Now, I don't know how you feel about that, but 29 times earnings to me is not bubble material. And I asked Jensen Huang about all that money moving into data centers and this build out. He's predicting trillions and trillions of dollars moving into the build out of data centers a year, trillions a year. And here's what he said when I said to him, where's the ROI? Watch this.
Jensen, I want to get your take on all the money moving into the AI infrastructure build-out. How much are you expecting that to be, and will we see a return on investment in that money soon?
Artificial intelligence in the last year made some humongous breakthroughs. It is now effective, it's useful, it's generating really good results for users. It's impacting every single industry that we're observing. Everything from healthcare to, of course, enterprise computing, where we do work, and whether it's manufacturing, robotics, we're just seeing breakthroughs in every industry. That platform shift is just beginning, and we're just seeing it so strong and accelerating because now fundamentally, finally, AI is delivering really great results. And it's the reason why we're seeing the fastest growing companies in the world.
A pretty incredible moment we're in, Mark, right now. And we should also point out that NVIDIA is also lifting its fourth quarter expectations, calling for $65 billion in sales for the fourth quarter, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, when you mentioned the forward PE of NVIDIA being right around, I think, 28-ish. But when you measure that against their estimated long-term earnings growth, their long-term earnings growth is like 48% per year.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
You are paying nothing for that stock. It is incredibly cheap when you measure it in terms of growth. You contrast that with a company like Oracle. Oracle, I mean, I think that stock was like $350 a few months ago. It was up 40% after a great quarter as far as earnings went. But then investors started to realize, well, how are they going to pay for this stuff? Like, they're going to have to fund this via debt. And that stock's probably, I don't know, maybe somewhere around $200 right now. So those that spend well will be rewarded. And those who are a bit reckless or using debt, they're going to be punished.
Yeah, and Caroline, all of these Silicon Valley CEOs are warming up to Trump. They want to be in his orbit. Years ago, these people were globalists. Now they're wrapping themselves up in the American flag because of President Trump's direction and his focus on national security.
Absolutely. There's so many new opportunities for collaboration. And as for how AI will impact the labor market, Maria, I think you're probably right that it will improve work-life balance down the road. But I don't think we should say that work will become obsolete or irrelevant, because the American people need work for purpose, for meaning. It's what gives us a lot of our value in our daily lives. And just as important as work is purchasing power. So I'm very happy that Trump is leaning into affordability. We cannot lose the ball on this message. Obviously, Democrats and Democratic socialists in New York City are prescribing more statism, more government intervention to provide affordability. But we need to debunk those myths with the real solution, which is getting government out. So when there's a housing crisis, the solution there is to build more housing. That's deregulation, that's reforming zoning laws. It's not rent freezes, and it's probably not even 50-year mortgages. So I'm glad that Trump is on this message and this theme, and so is Elise Stefanik in the New York gubernatorial race. Affordability is going nowhere anytime soon.
All right, we will keep watching all of that. We're just getting started this morning.